Melvin Lovell, you built the Midhurst model, as we like to call it. Tell us a little bit about the background to it.
Well, the Midhurst was the first model that I'd ever built. My wife and myself went to Midhurst to look at the Midhurst station and found that it was rather derelict. But we thought, well, it could make a nice model. Anyway, we decided when we came home that we would build this model of Midhurst Station. So we went back to Midhurst a couple of months later, only to find that it basically all gone, other than the goods shed, which was still standing. So it disheartened me really to start with. But I wrote off to a British Rail at it was called the Plan Arch at Waterloo Station, to see what plans they had. Surprisingly enough, they had just about everything I wanted. So I bought a number of plans from them and just carried on planning Midhurst Station. And then I went to a railway exhibition locally and found a small 3mm layout there, run by a couple of young chaps there. And I just got very interested in it, spoke to them, and in the end I joined the 3mm Society and just planned to build Midhurst Station to what it is today.
How long did it take you to actually build it?
To be quite honest, I couldn't tell you because I don't plan anything. I mean, it must have been from start to finish, must have been, I should think, well over a year to 18 months, if not more. I was never in any hurry. I was working full time then, and I just used to do bits and pieces of an evening on the dining room table.
First time I saw the model, it was at Vic Mitchell's house. How did he come to get hold of the model in the first place?
Well, after I finished the model for a few years, we kept the model at Marlicombe Road, and in the end, I decided to sell it and move to another one, move to something similar. So I advertised the model. I don't know how Vic managed to see the advert in that, but he suddenly contacted me one night and he said, "Oh, he said, your Midhurst layout." He said, "Can I come and see it?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can." So he came up and had a look at it, operated it, and he said, "Yes." He said, "How much do you want for it?" I can't remember what the figure was, but we agreed the price there and then. And he said, "Right." He said, "I'll have it." And at that time, he was driving an old vintage. I don't know what the vehicle was, but the layout fitted straight in the back of his vehicle. And from then onwards, Vic actually owned the railway. I then planned another larger railway, and I decided to build a large shed in the garden for it. I was at that time working for a builder. Prices was a bit tight. So the builder said to me, he said, "Prices are a bit tight." I said, "Well," I said, "rather than pay me," I said, "supply me with the materials to build my shed," which he did. I built the shed, which was 16 foot long by 8 foot wide. And from then onwards, I think the next layer I built in there, the second layer I built in there, I think was Padstow in North Cornwall, which unfortunately had to be dismantled when we decided on a house move to here, which was 15 years ago. Fortunately, the Marley garage was in the garden, which the layout went into, or the new layout went into. I tried a bit of 009 modelling, but I didn't fancy that much. And that's when I moved to O gauge, really, to this one.
And that's the one that we're standing next to
That is
today.
the one that we're seeing now, which, as I say, I greatly extended it to when it was in the garage out there because I had more room. But weather conditions and that didn't suit me during the winter months. And that's when it was moved into here.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about this model that you have in your house now.
Well, this model here, this model here was partly built by a member of the Railway Modeller staff, and when he finished it, he sold it to me, and I brought it in here, and I've greatly extended it, made it wider at the front and much longer than what it is at the moment.